Welcome to today's show, folks. A little bit of a different show today. We're going to be catching a fish, cleaning a fish, and cooking a fish on this video. Hey, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed yet, how about hit that subscribe button? If you like this video, make sure you like it, comment below. Give me all the help I can, folks. I hope you enjoy this. Let's go catch a fish right now. We got something happening. I don't know what. Oop. I don't know what. We're gonna sneak up here. We're gonna sneak up here and find out. Who knows? Who knows? It's catfish. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's a good catfish. It's a good catfish. He is wore out. He has fought all night and he is wore out. He's been rolling. These old catfish here, they'll roll. Look at him. I got you, buddy. There he is. There he is, there he is. We're gonna cut this one down. We just gonna cut this one down. He has twisted that line up. I just want to untie it. That's the first fish of the morning. No bait left on anything, which is a good sign, but not any fun when you're losing bait and not catching fish. Just gotta look at him again. There you go. All right, folks, we got about a 7.5 pound blue cat here. I'm gonna help you out on identifying these blue cats. Sometimes it's hard. It's hard for me. I've caught a bunch, but sometimes a blue cat and a channel cat can really confuse you, especially when they're in this size, around this size. But notice that anal fin right there. That anal fin has more of a straight edge on a blue catfish. On a channel cat, it's going to be a little more rounded. But the foolproof way to tell if this is a blue cat is to count those anal fins. A channel catfish is going to have less than 30 of those anal fins there. A blue cat's going to have over 30 of them. They're not hard to count. Once you spread it out, you can see it like that. So if you're wondering, hey, is this a blue catfish or a channel catfish? The anal fins never lie. Other things can be a little deceptive, so just count those fins, and if it's got at least 30 of them or more, it's going to be a blue catfish. So I like to break these fins off simply because the catfish lays better when you break them off. Now my wife got me this Rapala electric knife, and I just started using these to clean these bigger fish with, and I tell you, I really like it. I've always just either filleted them off with the skin, or I used to skin them a lot. But what you want to do is you want to on these bigger fish like this, because the ribs are harder to cut through, you want to find this rib cage. You can find that rib cage pretty easy on one of these. You can see it, and you want to go just below that rib cage there. And what I do is I go ahead and cut below that rib cage out, and that way I don't have to cut through the ribs and go on my knife. So you cut all the way down to where you feel that backbone, and once you feel that backbone, you just go all the way across it. Don't cut it all the way off, so you'll have something to play with. Once you get it turned over, you just want to go right down. Beautiful. Beautiful. I messed up just a tad there. This is real life. That's going to happen. So when that happens, just grab your catfish skinners or pliers if you have them. They'll pull right off, just like that. So that's your first piece of meat. We'll clean that up in a minute. So you're going to flip him over. You just want to you're going to flip him over. And you just want to do the same thing on this side as well. Beautiful meat. Beautiful meat. You can, some people bleed these fish before they clean them. They cut the tail off, let it bleed out. I don't see much of a difference when you do that. A lot of people will leave them on ice too. And if you just leave them on some ice with some water for a day or two, they'll get real white and real clean. I say I don't see much of a difference. I'm not saying it doesn't make a difference in the way the meat appears, but it doesn't, to me, seem to make a big difference in the way that they taste. But I do clean my fish up a lot. I cut a lot of the blood out myself. If you don't do that, it probably helps a lot. So what you want to do on this next cut is you want to go right up here. You're just going to cut like a V right here on this fish. There's a bone right here where the fin is. I'm going to go around it. So you got this piece here. And if you'll grab on the skin here when you're fixing this thing, like sometimes you can't, but if you'll get some pliers, and then when you do it, don't push the knife, just pull the skin. Just pull the skin. And when you pull the skin, it makes it so much easier. It just goes right through it. Beautiful piece of meat right there. Then you're just going to do the same thing to the other side. Notice how I'm just pulling. Not pushing, I'm just pulling. Beautiful meat right there. I mean beautiful. Alright, so now I apologize. I saw that camera angle wasn't great on that other work. I apologize for that. I've tried to fix it now, but if you'll notice on this meat, a lot of that meat's beautiful and white. And then you'll see some places like there where I didn't get quite far enough down on getting that bloody looking meat off. If you want to come in and with your fillet knife, just take that out. And also the meat, it splits very naturally. You can see that line. See the line going down it right there? What I do is I just split it right with that line, and then I cut that dark piece off. I'll show you what I mean. Very natural. It splits very natural. So now see you have this little piece here. It's nothing but a beautiful. And so you can pull it off with your skinners if you want to, but I like to just cut mine off with the knife. So that's gone. And then what you have left is nothing but a beautiful piece of meat. Do the same thing to the other side. This one doesn't have much on it. Just cutting a little bit off. It does have a little bit of a patch right here that I didn't get when I was filleting it, so I'll take it off with the knife. That's going to be a beautiful piece of meat right there. This is the V spot that I took off. I want to do the same thing with it. There's a line you can see on it as well. We'll cut that off. Now, a lot of this meat like this, when it gets up there, it's a thicker meat. Some people will take and they'll cut that in nuggets, and that's cool. I've done that a lot of times too. But what I like to do is I like to split it. And I'll tell you the reason I split it. I split it because it cooks so much better. See how thick that is? What I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to split that right down the middle. Careful not to cut yourself. So now I have two pieces that are a lot thinner. Instead of one piece, I've got two pieces, and they're gonna cook quicker. To me, they're better like that. Some people really like the nuggets. Nothing wrong with that. So I'm gonna do the same thing here. I'm gonna come in right in the center of it. I'm gonna split it. Now, got two pieces. They're gonna cook quick. All I've got left is this big piece here. I'm gonna split it down the middle just like I did the others. The other side. I'll cut this bloodline out. Probably cut that in two. So, I've got a good bit of meat. A couple of little pieces on there. Now, I don't keep the belly meat on. I don't keep the belly meat on blue cats, and I don't keep the belly meat on channel cats if they're bigger. If they're small, I'll fry them whole, and I will. But I don't because it doesn't taste that good to me. A lot of people love it. That's great. So I didn't save the belly meat, but that's a 7.5 pound catfish. And you can see all the meat that I got off of it. Me and my wife will eat this tonight. This will be our supper. And it will be good. It will be good. So that's it. Now let's cook it. All right, so we got our fillets laid out. We want to salt them. You salt them to taste. Some people like a lot of salt. Some people don't like a whole lot of salt. I salt mine on both sides. I like salt. All right. So we have them salted. Now I have this awesome breader that I use. I use Zatarans. You can see that. You can also use cornmeal. I love cornmeal. Cornmeal and salt and pepper is great to me. I'm going to cut these bigger pieces in half. Just going to drop them in here. Once we drop them in there, we're going to seal it up. Oh, missed a piece. And all we do now is shake. Shake them good. You can also do this with a paper sack. Once you get it done, they'll be nice and battered. They'll be covered. We'll make sure they're dry. You don't want them to be wet. If they're wet, doesn't stick as well. They don't do as well. So next, we're gonna drop them in the fryer. All right, we got our oil at 350 degrees. That's where you want it, maybe a little higher. Let's drop this in. You'll know when it's done for these fillets. They'll normally start floating. Doesn't take them long. Supper's ready. Thanks for tuning in today. It was a good show, I hope, for you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope maybe you learned something. I'm excited about this season getting kicked off. It's still a little bit early, but I know real soon the flatheads are going to start biting, and we're going to be filling that boat up. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, and I'll be seeing you next time.